Hey, what is going on, Twintendo Nation? Hope you're having an awesome day. Tomorrow is the fated day, the Pokemon Sword and Shield Direct. We're going to be getting 15 minutes of brand new information, and obviously, so far, we only know a little bit about Pokemon Sword and Shield. We know the titles of the games, we know the free starter Pokemon, and we know a bit about the region, but apart from that, we've barely seen anything, and it's quite nice not knowing much about a new Pokemon game. I'm really hoping that we go into Pokemon Sword and Shield knowing as little as possible, because as we know, Pokemon Sun and Moon did quite the opposite. It was quite fun as a news channel covering that. It was a lot to cover, but when the game came out and you realized you'd seen pretty much every Pokemon, it was very disappointing. So hopefully in tomorrow's Pokemon Direct we'll get the right amount of info and kind of keep it quiet until the game releases. But I'm going to be going over my 10 predictions for Pokemon Sword and Shield Direct today. This isn't going to be confused with a video I did a month ago, which was my top 10 predictions for the final game of Pokemon Sword and Shield, so they're going to be a bit different, the predictions in this one. This is mainly what I expect to see in tomorrow's Direct. So guys, if you do enjoy today's video and you're looking forward to Pokemon Sword and Shield, make sure to hit the like button down below, and if you want to stay up to date with everything Pokemon, make sure to hit that subscribe button to become a part of the Twintendo Nation. Now, let's get on with our first prediction. This is a very simple one. I think a lot of us expect this, and this is box art to be revealed. Now, I feel like I'm the only one who's really interested in the box art for Pokemon Sword and Shield, simply because Pokemon games have always had the same kind of dimensions in terms of box art. Very like Game Boy games up to Nintendo DS and Nintendo 3DS have always been, a square box art. But with the Nintendo Switch, it's kind of longer, really. It's longer and just narrower. So it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do with the box art. Is it going to be something similar to Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, with, like a big mascot kind of Pokemon at the front, or they're kind of going to make it different for once? So they're going to have, like, I feel like a lot of the Pokemon promotional posters for certain games like Ultra Sun and Moon would have worked really well as box art in terms of the dimensions of that poster. It would have fit quite well. So are we going to have something drawn and something that looks quite different to a traditional Pokemon box art? Or, like I said, is it going to be more like Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee with the legendary on the front and the logo and just kind of a lot of empty space? So that's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing that. But I do expect to see the box art, and I also expect to see the legendaries. This is my second prediction. Legendaries will be revealed, and I'm going to be bold and I'm going to say they won't be wolves. I know a lot of people are expecting that, and myself included in a way. To be honest, it's a fair guess that both legendaries could be wolf-like Pokemon, but I just don't really think it's going to be a thing. The reason people think that is because on the Pokemon Sword and Shield logos, they have like a wolf thing on both the sword and both the shield. That's kind of like a thing that actually happened in real life with swords and shields, that they'd have like decorations on like that. I can't remember the exact term. But yeah, so I don't think that's going to be the case. If it is, I'm completely fine with that, because I love wolves. They're one of my favourite animals. But I just think it'll be quite different. I don't think it's what we'll be expecting in terms of, the legendaries. I think there'll be something that we didn't see coming. Now, my third prediction, I'm not really sure how to phrase this, but I think there will be two evil teams or something along those lines. They'll be similar to Team Magma and Aqua. I think they'll have like opposing views, and it'll just be kind of like a bit like a war, a medieval war. You know what I mean? Like, you hear Sword and Shield, you think there's going to be like two armies. So I feel like there's going to be a Pokemon Sword kind of army and a Pokemon Shield army. Not necessarily an army per se, but like two different factions that are opposing each other and are going to go to war, something like that. That's what I expect. It's been a while since we've had two evil teams, or I'm not even sure if I call them evil in this case. I feel like it's just two conflicting teams, but I feel like it's definitely likely, not necessarily going to happen, but I'd definitely like to see it. I personally love Team Magma and Aqua. I know a lot of people were like, they're not as cool as Team Rocket, and that was the only evil team that people had seen before Team Magma and Aqua, so it was kind of a lot to live up to, but I thought they were quite good. Some of the reasons were a bit silly as to why they were kind of trying to get Groudon and Kyogre, but I would definitely like to see two evil teams, or whatever these teams will be, in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Next prediction, I'm expecting a new battle mechanic. I think not necessarily battles have become stale or anything. I loved Mega Evolutions and Pokemon X and Y. I didn't really care about Z moves. I thought they were kind of just a bit disappointing after Mega Evolutions. But I definitely think there will be a new battle mechanic, and it might be exclusive to these gym battles we're going to see, which kind of look like football stadiums. We see the trainer walking out in what looks to be like a football kit. So I feel like there's going to be something new in terms of battling. Whether it's Armored Evolution, I don't think Armored Evolution is going to happen. That ain't a prediction. That's just kind of like an extra point I'm going to add. I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't mind being proven wrong. There's nothing wrong with it per se, but I don't believe it until I see it, basically. But I do think there will be a new battle mechanic in Pokemon Sword and Shield. My next prediction, number 5, 3 early route Pokemon will be shown off. This is kind of the basic Pokemon stuff we always get. We'll see a normal type Pokemon like your Zigzagoon, your Poochyena, your Bidoof, your Patrat, and we'll also see a flying type Pokemon like your normal bird Pokemon, your Talos, Starly, Pikipek, and a bug Pokemon, which is kind of, again, something we'd always see like Kricketot and Grubbin, those kind of Pokemon. I'd be happy with those 3. I definitely want to see a bit more than that, but like I said, the less Pokemon shown, the better in a way, because then you can go into Pokemon Sword and Shield on release day, seeing all these brand new Pokemon, and you're just super excited. I have not really had that feeling since Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, when I went into that game blind, since the internet wasn't massively a thing back then, for me at least. So that was super exciting, and I think that's why I loved Pokemon Diamond and Pearl so much. So I'm hoping Pokemon Sword and Shield kind of does the same as well. Number 6, my 6th prediction, we'll see the first look at customization. Now yes, you can argue we've seen that already with the Uniqlo contest, which has now been scrapped actually, but basically you could submit art and they would be put as a custom t-shirt in Pokemon Sword and Shield. That kind of showed off that customization was a thing, but I think we'll have an actual proper look at it. We'll see all the different hats you can wear, different shirts, and all these, whatever you'd expect for customization. Maybe even Pokemon customization as well, like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. I think that might be pushing it, but we'll at least see some sort of customization, and mainly for your trainer. Now my 7th prediction, we will see the professor of the region, and I'm going to say it's going to be the 2nd female professor. I think it's about time we had another. We had Professor Juniper in Pokemon Black and White and Pokemon Black and White 2, basically 5th generation. And since then we've had Professor Sycamore and Professor Kukui. I genuinely don't know how to say his name. It's been like 3 years since Sun and Moon came out, and I'm still unsure if that's the right pronunciation. But basically, I feel like it's time to have another female professor. Doesn't really matter for me what the gender is, but I personally would like to see one. I think it's been a while, and I think we could definitely benefit with having one. So yeah, that is my 7th prediction. Number 8, this is something that excites me the most, and probably excites a lot of you guys, and that is that a new evolution will be shown off. Basically, the reason I go for this is the last evolution was Sylveon, and that was one of the first Pokemon to be shown off in Pokemon X and Y. So I feel like if you're going to show a Pokemon to get people excited for your game, one of the first ones you should show off is an evolution. And I think whatever it's going to be, I think it'll be a Steel type if anything, Steel or Dragon evolution. Show one of those off, and I think you'll have a lot of people pre-ordering the game straight away, because we all love evolutions, let's be honest. So I definitely think that's going to happen, even if it's not shown off in tomorrow's Pokemon Sword and Shield Direct. I still think an evolution is definitely going to happen in Generation 8, but I'll kind of be surprised if there isn't a new evolution tomorrow. Number 9, this has always been kind of a controversial one when I brought it up, but I think it is about time it happens. Pokemon is one of the only JRPGs, or modern JRPGs I know, that doesn't have this feature, and this is voice acting. I feel like Pokemon would really benefit from voice acting. I mean, Pokemon Sun and Moon, they tried to go for a very dialogue heavy story, and it was, brave of them to do, because Pokemon's never really done that, but it was a lot of text to go through, and I feel like voicing it would at least make it easier, and I feel like you would just love the characters more, because you kind of, I don't know, when I hear a character voiced in a game, it just makes me feel more attached to them. And I feel like, I know not everyone's loves like English dubs in terms of voice acting and stuff. I personally have no problem with them at all, but I feel like if there is going to be voice acting, you've got to have an option for English and Japanese. We've seen Pokemon Masters gameplay, that's got voice acting in, it's got Japanese audio. I'm not sure if they're going to have English audio, but I would happily have Japanese audio at the very least, but I would like to see some English voice acting as well. Since the Galar region is set in England by the looks of it, or the UK even, it's based around the UK, I think it would be nice to have some like UK voice actors, but who knows? I know people are kind of divided on that. I'd personally like to see voice acting, but I totally understand if people wouldn't want that. And finally, I'm going to predict the release date of Pokemon Sword and Shield. Most games for Pokemon are released in November. I think the only one I can remember since it went worldwide a release date that wasn't released in November was Pokemon X and Y, which came out October the 13th, I think, something like that. So I think it's going to be November, and they're normally released on a Friday. Well, pretty much always. The last lot of Pokemon games have been like Ultra Sun and Moon, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. I'm going to say the release date is going to be November the 22nd, which is a Friday. I'm pretty confident on that. I just think that's going to be the case because I feel like a lot of games release on a Friday. That seems like a good window. It's before Christmas, it's before Black Friday. So yeah, I think that's going to work really, really well. So guys, those are my 10 predictions for the Pokemon Sword and Shield Direct. I could have done quite a few more, but I just wanted to keep the most important ones concise in this video. So guys, if you are looking forward to Pokemon Sword and Shield's Direct tomorrow, make sure to hit the like button down below, and if you like what I do and want to see more of it, make sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with everything Pokemon Sword and Shield. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you on the next video. Peace!